Hello, welcome back to the Xpert 11 Road to Glory series, where in the last episode we beat Deep 3-0 and opened up a 4-point gap to third place P4H FC. We are now in contention for playoffs, not just for surviving in Division 5 as was the original goal. In this episode we'll be taking on Blue Force, and anything but a win would be considered a huge shock considering their only win all season is against Deep right above them in the table. They've got 1 win, 1 draw and 7 defeats, so they will probably be expected to be defeated by most opponents in this division, and so we have to make sure that our result counts. We have to make sure our team can beat them. So let's take a look and we'll see what Blue Force squad looks like now. So there'll be a few changes since the managerial change after our last game against them. I mentioned that last time we faced Blue Force, after we faced them, Yukata, a Turkish manager, took over. And he's made a few changes to the team. He's made them a lot stronger with some new signings. The big 3 new additions are Orlando Estrada, Custodio Fielho and Anthony Langmore. Plus he was also rid of the backup goalkeeper as well as defender Yusuke Senda, who started against us in the last game, so it's a much different looking side. Knights are still carrying the yellow cards from the Deep game, and we don't really want to get into a situation whereby we have key players out for the key matches ahead, because we have a very difficult run-in after this Blue Force match. Blue Force line up in a 4-5-1 formation with Nicholas Covello in goal, a back four Mondola Habari, Orlando Estrada, Julian Wojciechowski and Ivan Pereda, midfield of Hardian Inmianti, Custodio Fielho, Augusto Reis, Frederick Whitehead and Carl Gronquist, and a front row man of Andy Langmore. Knights also line up in a 4-5-1 formation with Ant Connolly in goal, a back four Pim van der Kruis, Ibrahim Qamara, Ledley King and Pedro Miramontes, midfield of Ray Tataw Eta, Sergei Kiriakowski, Alvito Roma, Jr and Raymond Hargreaves, and a front row man of Celso Mota. Interesting, you notice Aquila Santa Maria has been benched for this game. This is because of the fact that he is on 2 yellow cards, and I want to save him for later games so that we can keep our defensive strength up. Plus, Ibrahim Qamara needs the game time really, so we do what we can really and hope for the best. So let's go live to the KSK arena for the match. Captains for this match are Julian Wojciechowski for Blue Force and Ledley King for Knights of Cydonia. The referee is Donald Scott, skill 3, harshness 8. Blue Force are in the grey and black strip playing from left to right. Knights are in the red and yellow strip playing from right to left. The other match in the division has got Real Madrid taking on P4H FC, a tussle which could be big for both sides' chance of the playoffs. King Bucks against Gorgie Thistle, that's a big match too, while Deep are playing at home to Sham. And we're underway. Blue Force have got a bit of the ball to start with, and Knights have a card in the 3rd minute of the game here. Pedro Miramontes has been yellow carded for simulation. 7 minutes later, Knights are starting to get a strong foothold of the ball here. Real Madrid are taking the lead against P4H FC, so P4H continue to slide. We've got a free kick here. Pedro Miramontes straight on goal. And he scores! Pedro Miramontes gives that Cydonia the lead against bottom club Blue Force inside the 15th minute of the game. 1-0 to Knights, great start. 21 minutes played, 1-0 Knights so far, and Real Madrid are 2-0 up against P4H FC, and Ray Tataw Eta has a well played shot and saved by Covello. Now we look at the other games in the division. Deep have just equalised against Sham. Now that's a shocking result. That's surprised they're drawing. We've got a free kick for Blue Force. Wojciechowski's free kick, and it hits the point where the post crossbar meet. Talented defender Wojciechowski, but he's no free kick specialist. And so, what we do have though, we do have a free kick specialist here in Miramontes. And he scores again! 2 goals for Pedro Miramontes from the free kick spot. We are really going to miss him next season when he hangs up his boots. He didn't get off to the best of starts early on the season, but he's really just rediscovered his form and reaffirmed that all that money for him was worth it. And that is the end of the first half. In the end of the first half, there's 3 chances for Knights compared to 1 for Blue Force. And the other match in the division, the King Bucks are leading against Gorgie Thistle, which is an interesting result there. Real Madrid are leading against P4H FC, and Deep are behind to Sham 2-1. Only just though. Second half is underway. And it's been a very quiet second half so far against Blue Force, but they have a card here. Julian Wojciechowski has been yellow carded for handball. 60 minutes played, 2-0 to Knights. And as things stand, Sham taking a 2-0 lead, 2-goal lead against Deep, and as Pierre Of Hesslink has an excellent save by Corvella forced out of him. So Erfan Ghazali is going to come on for Celso Mota now. We're going to make a few changes here. Xpert Eleven Road for Ray Tataw Eta, and Devin Reilly on for Ibrahim Qamara. Don't forget, this is one of our best chances to get DV for these youngsters come the end of the season as Sham go 4-0 up against Deep. We've got a chance. There's a penalty tonight. There's our 5th penalty of the season in the league. Penalty taken by Pim van der Kruis. And he scores! Pim van der Kruis scores his 5th penalty of the season. And amazingly, he is our 3rd top scorer this season from the penalty spot, would you believe? 2 of our top 3 scorers this season are defenders. This defence is really doing its job here, but we're going to break away from Blue Force here. As Andy Langmore tries to find the goalkeeper. And it's wide of the target. And that looks to be at. Results have certainly gone our way in this round of fixtures for sure. A quite comfortable victory over Blue Force in the end, 3-0 away from home, only our 2nd win away from home this season, and we have a 6-point gap to 3rd place, which is now occupied by Real Madrid, but Real look a dangerous side. Knights had 5 chances during that match and took 3 of them, although to be fair, all the chances we had were set pieces, which is some way to go about it, I guess. Ian Wojciechowski was the man of the match for Blue Force, the man of the match for the Knights was Ledley King. So, what that means is, with our goal difference advantage, we can afford 2 narrow defeats and still be in 2nd place, but 2 heavy defeats will likely see Real Madrid catch us. Real L are the team on the move in Division 5, I feel. We really struggled to beat them, only got 4 points against them, but on both occasions Real probably should have done better than they actually did. They have a quite easier run compared to us. Real have Blue Force and Deep still to play, so that should be 2 easy wins, while they've also got the King Punks and Gorgie Thistle to play. We have Gorgie Thistle in our next match of the season, followed by games against Sham, P4HFC and the King Punks, so we have a harder run-in than Real Madrid. It's quite unlikely we'll win all 4 of our last games of the season, so we've really got a challenge if we want that 2nd spot. Add to that the players that need development, and it's looking like a tough ask. Team of the week is Cornelius Torch and Sham, a back forward Morris Layton the King Punks, Peter Falconer the King Punks, Ledley King Knights of Cydonia, and Elliot Nielsen the King Punks. Midfielder Alf Spring Real Madrid, Fred Kylan Deep, Inaki Turiaga the King Punks, and Julian Minto Sham, and French Eusebio Sierra P4HFC, and Jonathan Tidwell Sham. And after 9 attempts to raise the manager of the round award, we finally get one in this season. Our first manager of the award this season, possibly in Division 5, I can't quite remember off the top of my head here. Anyway, let's take a look and see how the team's DV is doing. DV is looking pretty solid so far, with many players on at least 15 DV, but there are a few exceptions. Alvito Roma is on 14 DV, he doesn't necessarily need to get to 17 this season though. Pierre Of Hesslink, however, is a bit of a concern. He needs to be at least 17 DV. He is only 14 so far. He'll probably have to play every game remaining of this season in order to reach his DV targets. As well as that, Celso Mota and Erfan Ghazali are both on 14 DV each, having to share 1 striker spot. So it could be a bit of a problem to try and get both of these the game time they need in order to go up at the end of the season. In fact, Celso Mota doesn't necessarily need that much more DV than he already has, but Erfan Ghazali probably does if we're going to double jump him and take advantage of the bargain price that we bought him for. Otherwise, the oldies that we plan to keep are all on at least 11 DV or 10 DV, or approaching, should be getting at least 10 by the end of the season. Kwiatkowski is only on 3 DV unfortunately, so he will probably not be figuring in our plans as we look to phase him out of the team in favour of the younger generation, who are starting to become of a good enough quality to definitely make up our starting midfield from next season onwards. So after that round, here's how the standings look. Sham lead on 25 points, having only lost 1 game all season, and after a 4-1 victory over relegation threatened Deep. Real Madrid won the massive match between them and P4HFC 3-0 to move up into 3rd place on the table. We are currently 2nd after a 3-0 win over Blue Force and have a 6-point gap between 2nd and 3rd place, which is very encouraging. Meanwhile, the King Punks have beaten Gorgie Thistle 2-1 to delay their relegation concerns and hopefully to save themselves. The win for the King Punks means that mathematically we aren't quite safe yet, only just 1 point will do it. But our target appears to me to be towards the top of the table now, rather than mid-table and getting over the line. The season consolidation was what we were hoping for. It's turned out to be much more than that. That's it for this episode. In the next episode we play the first of 4 matches in the run-in to decide whether we'll get that second spot or not. Starting with an away match against Gorgie Thistle. And the last time we travelled away to Gorgie Thistle we came away with a 3-0 defeat. So it's going to be a very difficult game. I hope you can join us for that game where we try and beat Gorgie Thistle on their own patch, or at least get a point out of it. We need to win 2 of our last 4 games to guarantee that second spot, in my opinion, and maybe even draw one of the other 2. I don't think we can afford more than 1 defeat anyway. Anyway, see you next time.